Yo guys, what is going on? Welcome back to the second channel. I wanted to go over today with you guys some tactics that at the moment I really enjoy. I think a lot of people come in my stream sometimes. A lot of people come in my Twitter mentions. Yo man, I'm looking for X and Y with my team. What tactics work? And I know that a lot of you guys haven't been playing Weekend League at all. And that's due to the rewards are really not worth it. So I get it. But now that Team of the Season is coming out, I wanted to give you guys a couple formations that I really do like. Some tactics to go with them. And just reasons why I like them, and then types of players you're going to need in the positions, and just different things like that. Yeah, if you guys enjoyed the video today, drop a thumbs up. Let me know if you guys using these formations, and I apologize about no player reviews on the channel. There just hasn't been any good players that came out. But we're saving our energy for the player reviews for Team of the Season, so there will be endless player reviews coming very soon. So no need to worry about any of that. So this was obviously the team that I used last weekend. And this is going to bring me to the first set of tactics that I really do like this year in FIFA, and that is going to be the 4-4-2. Now, why is the 4-4-2 so good? The reason it is so good, guys, is that with the 4-4-2, guys, you have a very balanced team. And the importance of this year's game is having wide players. I have tried to use the 4-1-2 and 2 narrow, and I have dropped 28, 29 wins, but the reason I did so well with it was because my players were god tier. I have played the 4-1-2-2 narrow this year, and it is just not the same as other FIFAs, in my opinion, with weaker types of players. So you do need the wide players this year because of the defensive AI this year being so overpowered. You need the wide players to try to drag the defensive AI out. So the 4-4-2 is a really cool formation to use. In terms of the types of players that you're going to want in the certain positions, with the 4-4-2, I like playing with one midfielder that's defensive and one that's really attacking. And fullbacks, you don't need attacking fullbacks in this formation. You're going to want players that kind of can stay back or be unbalanced. So the way that I ran it last weekend, this is the way that I enjoy it. I like to choose one striker and one cam, and then I like to stay central on both the attackers, right, in the middle. The reason why you would want to do stay central is you're going to want these players to not drift wide. You already have a left mid and a right mid. You don't want your attackers in the middle to drift wide. You want them to stay in the middle and keep those center backs occupied. Now, we've got Neymar and stay central and get in behind. We've got Ziyech, and this is where it's going to be an interesting tactic, right? I've used this with Neymar and Gucci, which is St. Maximin for birthday. You're going to need to play a false nine. Now, what the false nine is going to do is you're going to have one of your players is going to drop in like a cam / center forward. The other player is going to get in behind. So it's going to be like a 4-2-3-1 setup, sort of, where you've got the cam and the striker a little bit closer together in this formation. And then what you're going to have is you're going to have your wide players. Now, the way that I do this is I just put them on get in behind last weekend. But if you want to put them on comeback on defense for extra defensive support, you could do that. I don't necessarily recommend that because I think it's going to take away from a lot of your attacks. You're going to have to be waiting for those players to transition forward at times, but you could do that if you wanted to. With the center mids, I have both of them on cover center. That's kind of how I will always do it. Cover center is very important for the center mids. One of them is on stay back. The other is on balance. And then in terms of the fullbacks, these guys are on balance. Now, tactic-wise, the way I set it up, I recommend if you guys can, play over 5 depth, man. I'm telling you guys, like, I started playing 6, 7, 8, 9 depth, and recently, I know it sounds like very intimidating, and I know that sounds crazy to do, but I'm telling you guys, man, if you can do it, right? If you have the defensive ability to do so, I would recommend it. I feel like with the higher depths in this year's FIFA, it really allows for your team to play more attacking, right? Your team's the runs your team are gonna make are gonna actually go out and surprise you guys. So that's the 4-4-2. I really like it. I always play balance. I never this year, guys, play any pressure on any of these things. I never do any of this, and the reason for that is just it's weird, man. It's sometimes this year with the pressure, man. Some of the things my team has been doing when I click the pressure tab on, it's just not stuff that I'm comfortable with. So I never really rock with any of those tactics. I kind of just try to keep it on balance as much as I can. So that's the first set of tactics that I really enjoy. We're going to obviously have to set up the next couple of tactics here. So the next set of tactics that I really do like, and this was one that I had played and I got 29-1 with, and I sent you guys a little bit of the tactics, but I don't know if I gave you guys the full thing. Now, I played 9 or 10 depth. I wouldn't recommend playing it. Again, I'll play like 6 or 7 depth. This is a very unique formation, and it's going to be a formation that you guys are going to need specific players to play, and you're also going to need... You're going to need to be a good defender. So right away, if you guys look at this video and you say, I'm not really that good of a defender, don't use this formation. I'm telling you guys, this formation is not for you. It's not a good formation. So don't use this formation. But the way that we got it going on here, guys, the 3-1-4-2. Now, you're going to need specific center backs in these positions. What you'll notice about this formation and why the 2 center backs that I have down below work, right? Boateng is a medium-medium and Alberto's a medium-medium. You do not want to have a medium-high or a high-medium or high-high, any of those things in this formation, in my opinion. I feel like the way that I had success with this was I played one high-high, which was Robertson's team of the year at center back, with two medium-mediums. You're going to want the medium-mediums so your player in the center back position not transitioning forward too much, not sitting back too much. You don't want to have a big gap between your midfield and your center back. So those are the types of players you want there. So the way that this works is obviously where Neymar and Ziyech are lined up. That's the left wing and the right wing. That's the left center mid and the right center mid. So those players are actually going to drop in. The way that it is on this loading screen is very confusing. Neymar and Ziyech, obviously this is just like randomized because I didn't play this formation with these players. So those players won't be there. But yeah, you're going to want in those two positions players that can pass and transition really well in the midfield, have a physical presence. For example, when I play this formation, I think in the midfield, I think at that right wing spot, I used Trent Arnold and I used Kevin De Bruyne at the left. So those guys were left and right center mid. Boulaya and Vieira are going to be the wide mids. Vieira's a perfect center mid for this formation, right? This is where I would play Vieira. He's a perfect center mid. He's a medium, so he doesn't go up too much. He sits right in that position, and he's just going to win every ball. And then that's really how I would do it. These are the wide players over here, so you're going to want fast players that can go wide there. Instruction-wise, this is where this formation gets crazy. You're going to want to do cut passing lanes, stay back, and cover center on the one center mid. In terms of the wide players, I was enjoying these are the wide players. I was enjoying getting behind on my wide players. I was letting them get in behind. And then in terms of my center mids, guys, I was doing balanced on my center mids, cover center. Now, doing the false nine again up top is very important. You're going to want to make sure you're doing this. False nine, get in behind and stay central. I loved these instructions when I used it. This is a formation that I would say you guys should use if you're looking to win games with high score lines or score a lot. I don't recommend really using this formation unless you guys are just trying to play FIFA to score a lot. You know, this is going to be a great formation to switch to if you needed goals. So that's why I really like it. I think it's a little bit more unique. So that's the 3-1-4-2. I really do enjoy that formation. I would play it on anywhere higher than 7 depth if you could. The next up formation that we're going to talk about is probably the most general formation in FIFA, and it's the 4-2-3-1. Now, this is a formation that I think is the most accessible formation to use in FIFA. The reason it's so accessible is you've got two center mids always backing in front of your center backs. You've got wide players that are occupying the space for the opponent's AI, and you've got two central players. And the way that this game works this year with the attacking positioning and the attacking runs, a lot of the time this year's game is focused upon taking the ball out wide and then slingshotting the ball in the middle and doing work with your cam and your striker. That's why you'll notice everybody who plays this game this year, if you watch a good player, he's always going to be waiting for that transition run from the striker. The striker's always looking to make the downwards run this year at the edge of the box. So that's like the biggest thing that I would say is happening with the attacking positioning this year. So that's why this formation is really, really good for that type of stuff. Now, a little twist to this formation that I really would like you guys to try if you did. Try to use two fullbacks that can get up the pitch. Use balanced on the 4-2-3-1 fullbacks. The reason I like that is when you're going to get the ball out wide with the tall and Neymar, a lot of time you guys might be 1v2. If you have Danny DaCosta shadowing Neymar and going around and making an overlap, you're going to occupy the AI. In my opinion, this year's game is all about occupying the AI as much as possible. So if you have attacking fullbacks that are overlapping, it is really going to help you guys do something like that. Now, the players that I have here, probably the way that I would set it up would probably be like Boulaya wide. I would probably do Neymar as a cam. I'll probably do Neymar as a striker, Ziyech there, and Atal as a center mid. So again, this fits right into what I was talking about with the center mids. In this formation, you're going to want to do the same thing. You're going to want to have a center defensive mid that's more defensive. Some people play two flat-out defensive mids here. I think you're wasting your time. Even with one, I question it because I like to have the double defensive mids. So cut passing lanes, stay back while attacking on the more defensive center mid. And then the other center mid, which would be Atal, I would probably just keep on balance, but also cover center. If you wanted to, you could put him on get forward so he goes and starts making those forward runs. That one is up to you guys. And then again, fullbacks unbalanced. On the wide players, a lot of people do come back on defense. With the 4-2-3-1, I just like balanced, basic across all the mids. I don't really touch these. You could put stay forward, but sometimes with stay forward, there's a little bit of an issue where there's a gap in the midfield, which is between the center defensive mids and the cam. So that's why basic is good, because you want to make sure you kind of have that triangle in the middle. And then striker-wise, I mean, you guys could really do what you want. I've tried stay central on a 4-2-3-1 striker, and I haven't liked it, because a lot of the times when I got the ball wide with Promes or Boulaya, The striker didn't make the transition wide run, which I like a lot. I think it helps occupy the opponent's AI a lot. So that's the 4-2-3-1. I would recommend playing it probably just balance, 5 depth, 5 width. When I had my silver team, I think I played it with 3 depth or 4 depth. That's because my silver team was awful. So, and then probably last formation that I really like this year, or also would like recommend to you guys that I've used. Again, there's other formations, guys, but these are just ones that I've used. 3-5-2. 3-5-2 is really good for trying to control a game. If you're ever in a lead but you want to keep scoring, this is a great formation to use because you're going to get the wide players so wide, and you're going to kind of get this block of 5 in the middle. So that block of 5 is going to be very hard for opponents to beat. I know that 3-5-2 seems really attacking, but in a way, it's great defensively. You're just going to want to make sure you do a couple instructions of this formation. Again, you could do balance. I would probably recommend like 6 depth. And with the cam, you need to use basic on the cam 100%. You cannot use stay forward. I've used stay forward on a cam in a 3-5-2. It's going to leave you way too vulnerable in the midfield. So make sure you're doing that. I would do get in behind on both strikers. You don't have to do stay central. This is where it gets interesting. On the wide players, on this formation, I would recommend doing come back on defense, stay wide, and get in behind. I would probably do it on both sides. And then other than that, you can always move a right back in game like a Denny DaCosta to center back, and he will fill that role pretty well. So yeah, these are like 4 formations that I really like, and I wanted to give you guys these if you wanted to try any out for the upcoming weekend leagues and things like that. I hope you guys enjoyed the video today. Sorry about the lack of uploads on the channel, but here we are. Thank you guys for watching. Peace out.